What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. New Year's events, obviously, are starting to roll in, the new characters are out, and today we're going to be covering Roger and ODEN, a fake, quote-unquote, dual unit, and we're going to break down his abilities once again, and give my thoughts and opinions now that we've had a little bit of an opportunity to use him in some content. Today we're taking on a couple of different arenas, and we have used them, obviously, in PKA. This unit's very interesting, however, there are some things that I'm not really the biggest fan of, and we'll get into that as we progress. So let's just kick it into high gear. Let's get into it with his captain. One thing to note, I suppose, that this unit is a quick slasher striker, and the fact that he is not free spirit, I both like and dislike that. I dislike it in the way that it really hurts the way that you can use him in other teams, but I also like that they are doing something different, because if this was yet another free spirit focused character, probably would have been a bit boring. But let's go into that captain effect, where he has the ability very similar to V1 Roger, being able to nullify the effects of removing beneficial effects and accumulated values once per quest, and he also has similar things to V1 Roger in the fact that he completely resists despair as a captain, and when you launch his special he gets a buffed captain effect. But then it also takes components of version 1 ODEN, where he has the ability to make these slots, just natural slots, count as Wano, specifically talking about strength slots. So that's really, really interesting with this guy. In terms of multipliers though, 1.5 times HP, 5.5 times attack, and that's focusing for both quick and slasher characters. So you want to build a team predominantly of slashers with multicolored types, so you can take on, different bosses, but also you can run mono quick with this guy as well. So there's a couple of different avenues you can go down. His special does, his captain ability does also boost all characters by 5x, which is kind of nice. And then he also has the effect of when you launch the special for the next 3 turns, you actually get a 6 times attack boost as a captain, 5.25 to all other characters. And then he has a really interesting component near the bottom, where when a slasher character with critical attack potential ability performs a critical attack, you get a minus 6% slasher resistance to all enemies. So very interesting, but the real problem here is that there's no cooldown reduction in his captain, so it really hurts him in normal content. But it also doesn't really have any utility. I mean, yes, despair is a piece of utility within the captain, but considering how commonplace despair reduction in captains are these days, I don't think this component is really that great, because it doesn't really provide a hell of a lot to your team. But of course, if you do opt to use him as a captain, you'll get access to the EX Super. The EX Super requirement is really harsh, where you need to have 5 slashers with critical attack, or you have 2 characters on the given list, which is Roger Pirates and then characters relating to Kuzuki ODEN. You also have Whitebeard as well, and also Portgas D Ace. The effect, I will say, is actually really good, changing top row slots to Wano, the bottom row and the middle row into matching, and both of those go through block slots. You also get a 1-turn ore block, and then your right column characters receive plus 2000 base attack for 1 turn, which I think at this point is the highest base attack increase in the game, I think. It's up there. It's definitely one of the highest. And then quick becomes super quick, and slasher become super slasher. So as I said, EX Super, I really don't have any problems with it. I do think the activation requirement is a little silly, but then again, EX Supers have always been really weird in terms of the requirements that are needed to get them to activate. So overall, not really too mad about this. So the fact that this character didn't have a captain that provided like crazy amounts of utility, it wasn't that big of a deal, and it wouldn't have been that big of a deal if the special also provided something in that realm, and unfortunately it doesn't really do that either. It does, however, give you 1.5 million damage that goes through everything, including normal attacks only, and then you get different effects whether this character had a Wano slot or not. So if he had a Wano slot, then you get a 3.25 times attack boost to characters that are both quick and slasher, but then it also will give everyone else that is either a quick unit or a slasher unit a 2.75 times attack boost. And then it would also go ahead and change quick slots into Wano for 2 turns, and then also will change the crew's matching slots into quick. So basically meaning that when you launch the special and you have a matching slot, it becomes a Wano slot. That's basically what it means. But then it also goes on to state that if you have dealt 10 million damage or more before you launch the special, then you get a times orb boost to quick type slashes for 3 turns, and you would get a 2.75 times orb boost for 3 turns if the character is either quick or a slasher. So you need to do 10 million damage or more, and then you get like a 3-turn orb boost, really big multipliers, whether they be quick, slasher, or the combined quick and slasher to receive the bigger buffs. Now, if you don't reach the 10 million threshold before launching the special, you still get a 2.75 times orb boost to quick and slashes, but the orb boost is only for 1 turn instead. So there's a couple of different conditions. You want to have a Wano slot on this guy, and you want to do 10 million damage or more before you launch his special to actually get all of the best components. But when you really boil it down, he doesn't do a whole lot. He does damage, which is, I guess, pretty good, and then he does the orb changing mechanics depending on the situation, but really boiling it down to a big attack boost and a big orb boost, and that's pretty much all he does. So I'm a little disappointed because I really feel like they should have added a lot more to his special to make him a bit more unique, to use him in more situations and scenarios. And then the last component that we need to touch up on is the fact that he has a Rush Sugo special, and I think this is the only component of the character that's kind of gonna keep it in the meta, I guess, for a while, because Rush Sugos are so uncommon that any new one that comes out is immediately very useful to have. So this Rush Sugo, if you get it to level 5, the effect will only launch on the final battle, and you need to have him be the 2nd or 3rd tap of the chain. And you also need 2 characters on the given list. However, they are the same characters that are required for his EX Super, so I don't think that's that big of a deal. But the effect of the Rush, every time you tap, you get 20k damage dealt to you. You can do that up to 7 times, so if you have 140,000 HP, you actually will get the maximum HP required for the tap, which is wicked. Every time you tap with your chain, you get a 0.1 increase, and then the finished tap effect gives an attack boost to Slasher, Striker, and Quick characters. And now, at level 5, it's a 1.5 times attack boost. However, if you are able to hit up to 5 taps with your Rush, you can actually get an additional 0.1 for each additional tap up to 2.0. So it will range between 1.5 to a 2.0 times attack boost for Quick, Striker, and Slasher characters. And this is a little bit weird because the Rush gives buffs to Strikers, but his Captain ability doesn't buff Strikers in that big margin. And I think that's also a bit of a missed opportunity, the fact that he is a Quick Slasher Captain, but they really should have made him Quick Slasher and Striker Captain. I think that would have been absolutely wicked if they did that. And the Rush is very similar to what we saw with Magma Kaido. It's relatively similar in a lot of ways. But the Rush Sugo special, it's unique in the fact that, you know, Quick characters can utilize it, Striker and Slasher characters can utilize it, and that's going to be the real draw. The only real issue is obviously is that if you want to use this Rush, you need to have the right characters on your crew. You need 2 of the listed characters needed, but if you're able to get it, it's obviously adding a lot of damage, which can stack with super tandems and final taps. So I really think that they kind of left a lot on the table with this guy. The fact that this character pretty much has like no utility is a really big downfall, and why I don't see this character being used all that much in the future. But I do think that in Super Boss scenarios, this could be very good. If you could partner this up with the Film Red Super Sugo Shanks, if you're able to do that, then this is going to be an amazing character for that. But we'll wait and see how people are able to utilize him in the future. It's going to wrap it up from me, though. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Other than that, I'll see you guys within the next video. 我ここに至りこの武具の最果てへと導く。